Hello, everyone. 45 minutes for our knees today. So this is going to be a class for those individuals, not necessarily that have knee pain, but those individuals that have tender knees or sensitive knees, that maybe kneeling in a yoga class is not the best thing for you. So today, 0 kneeling exercises in our class, but what you will need for class is a yoga mat and a chair. We will start in sitting, but you will also need a yoga block and a yoga strap. So go ahead and grab those for yourself. And then once you have those, have your yoga strap somewhere near you, and then find yourself in a seated position. And let's get some nice, good alignment through our lower legs for a quick moment before we get started with a quick little exercise for our quadriceps. So today's class about the knees. We're going to try to keep the tension off of the patellar tendons and the fat pads, but we are really going to be focusing on strengthening through the quadriceps, through the calves, through the hamstrings, and also creating good flexibility and balance between these quadriceps and these hamstrings muscles. So find yourself in a seated position with your feet approximately hip distance. So that's 2 fists between those big toe areas. And then line your kneecaps up with somewhere near the center of the arch of your foot. So your ankle should be just slightly behind your knees, maybe about a half or so of your leg bone onto the chair, but definitely the entire pelvis onto the chair. Once you have yourself in that position, take an opportunity to roll your pelvis forward, roll your pelvis backward, maybe just beginning with a light modification of cat-cow pose. And as you're just rolling your pelvis forward and backward, just kind of checking in with how your back feels today. And then find that position halfway between your tuck and tilt, where you feel weight onto your sit bones. And then once you have the weight smack dab in the center of your pelvis with your spine in a neutral position, keep your spine nice and long, but from your hips, just gently, slightly hinge forward until you feel the weight go down into your feet. Once you have yourself there, let's take our hands to the center of our heart today. Take a nice deep inhale, lift the hands nice and high, reach the hands up to the ceiling, and then as you exhale, pull your elbows back and down. Look to the left, look to the right, see if you've got those forearms nice and perpendicular to the floor. Pull those pinkies backwards, give those shoulder blades a nice good squeeze, and make sure that you didn't backward bend. So make sure you still feel that weight through your feet. Now, keeping that pivot prone position, lengthen your neck, settle your chin, start to get that good alignment through the upper half of your body. And then with the squeeze still happening between the shoulder blades, slowly lower the hands down onto the thighs. You've got it. Okay, so here's what we're going to do before we begin class today is we're going to do a quick little test of ourselves and really see how strong we are. So there's a really simple test that you can do to see if you, in fact, have weakness in your quadriceps that might be causing your knees to be a little too sensitive. So that's what we are going to test today. So hold on to your strap, put the strap to the back of the chair, whichever you prefer. Keep yourself in this beautiful, nice alignment position. Very slowly, without changing any of your upper alignment, slowly pick the right leg up now. So lean your body weight back a tiny bit and place the right foot into the center of your pelvis. As you place the right foot into the center of your pelvis, gently take your left leg and place your left leg off the floor. So you might need to kind of shimmy and shake so you feel comfortable in this position. Make sure that knee is at the arch of your foot. You don't have your foot too far forward. Here's what I want you to try for today's class on the knees. If you have sufficient right quadricep strength right now, you should be able to take a nice deep inhale, and on the exhale, hinge your body forward and push your body upward, and then come back down into your chair. So as you do that, question number 1, can you get out of your chair? Question number 2, can you do it gracefully without your knee wobbling all over the place? So if you cannot get out of your chair, you've got some quadricep and gluteal weakness. If, as you get up and down, your knee is doing a wobble, wobble in and out, that's telling you that you've got some hip insufficiency or hip weakness. All right, let's try it on the left side. Lots of people have strength that is more on one side than the other side. So take the left foot now and place it to the center of the pelvis. So you have it in the midpoint of the chair. Again, make sure the knee is in line with the center of the foot or so. Right leg, bring the right leg up off the floor. Now, hinge from your hips, shift your body forward onto the left leg. Take a nice deep inhale, and as you exhale, hinge forward and push your body up. And how do you do? And then sit yourself back down. Can you get up from that chair? If not, today is a good class for you, because we are going to be working on strengthening through these quadriceps and hopefully getting you to the point that someday soon you can, in fact, do that. All right, now that we have tested our knees and our leg strength, take your feet, bring them back out hip distance, and grab that yoga strap. You're going to strap your legs together. So you can either use a D-ring, a cinch strap, whichever you want, or you can just simply tie the strap around your knees. But what I want you to do is I want you to tie the strap around your knees at hip distance. So you figure out how you're going to do that at home. Maybe it's just a knot of that yoga strap. But once you have it, I want you to strategically, perfectly line up those knees with those hips, with those second toes, with the knees in line with the arches of the feet. Make sure those heels are behind the knees. Now, in that position, what I want you to now do is push out into that strap. That's going to engage those outer hip muscles. You've got it. Now let's do something fun with our arms. Let's take our arms and bring our hands into Anjali Mudra. It is a yoga class after all. So we are going to work on full-on modification of chair pose here. Sit to stand with a hip hinge and a weight shift. So check in that your second toes are the toes that are pointing forward, and or the outside of your feet line up with the top and the bottom of your mat. Start to push outward into that strap, keeping your body nice and long, hands to the center of your heart. Take a nice deep inhale, hinge forward, gazing down at the feet. And then as you exhale, pushing into your feet, keep pushing, keep pushing, keep pushing. Can you push all the way up and then pinch and squeeze through your glutes? You've got it. Take a nice deep inhale here. And then as you exhale, slowly pushing into that strap. As you're exhaling and exhaling and exhaling and sitting down, then finally inhale, unhinge, and exhale, relax there. I am going to tighten my strap a little tiny bit. It was just a little wider than hip distance. All right, are you ready? We're going to do 4 of them all in a row. Let's see how we do. Hands in Anjali Mudra. Take a nice deep inhale, hinge forward, gazing down at the feet. Exhale, push into the floor. Push as you lift, pinch as you squeeze your glutes. Take a nice deep inhale here. Exhale, sitting down nice and slowly, pushing into that strap the whole way down, hinge downward. Then take an inhale, coming back up and exhaling there. 3 more times. Inhaling, hinging forward. Exhaling and pushing and pushing and pushing. And can you pinch at the very top? Beautiful, guys. Take a nice deep inhale here. Exhaling, push into that strap and slowly lower into your hip hinge. Take an inhale, unhinge from the hips, and exhaling, relaxing. Keep pushing that strap out 2 more times. Give me a nice deep inhale and exhale, hinging forward. Now, inhaling here, sorry guys, exhale, push and pinch and squeeze through those glutes. Take a deep inhale here, exhaling, slowly lowering, keep pushing out into that strap until you sit back down into that chair, then inhaling back up, exhaling there. 1 more time, let's see if I can not screw up the breath this time. Take an inhale, hinge forward, exhale and push, pinch through those glutes, and take an inhale here and exhale and sit, stay in your hip hinge, keep that body straight, Then inhale, unhinge, and exhale, relax there. You've got it. Beautiful job. All right. Unloop, undo the strap around your knees, and let's move on to some hamstring work. So we're going to be working on still strengthening through our quadriceps here, but also lengthening through our hamstrings. So what I want you to do is take your feet now shoulder width apart. So just a little bit wider than you already had it. Once you have yourself in that position, gently take your elbows, place your elbows onto your thighs. I kind of like to call this the toilet bowl position, if you understand what I mean. Now, make sure that your belly is gently rolled forward so that your spine is not in flexion or curved. Pull those shoulder blades back and down. Take your hands today and interlace your hands together. Lengthen your neck, settle your chin, and gaze down at your thumbs. Now, check in that your feet line up with the outside of the mat. So don't let your feet be in an externally rotated position. So really get that nice, good alignment through the legs. Make sure that you can see right now that the knees are kind of lining up with the arches of your feet. All right, so here's what we want to do this time. We're already in a hinge, right? We're in a supported hinge. The weight is on our elbows right now. So what I want you to do is I want you to take a nice deep inhale. And as you inhale, hinge so much that you take all of the weight into your feet. Now, as you exhale, I want you to slowly straighten your knees and take your gaze straight back to the chair. As you're doing this, your belly never comes away from your thighs. Inhale, come down about an inch away from the chair. Exhale, straighten the knees, gaze goes straight back, keep the neck long, keep the shoulder blades engaged. You should feel this through the back of your legs. Inhale, downward 1 inch from the chair. Exhale, lifting, taking that bottom and pulling it up as you straighten through those knees, belly still touching the thighs. Inhale, dropping down 1 inch from the chair. Exhale, lifting nice and high, gazing back at the seat of that chair as you're there. And inhale, last time here, don't touch the chair, 1 inch away from that chair. And exhaling, lengthening, lengthening, lengthening. Slowly inhale, drop yourself all the way back down to your chair. And then as you exhale, sequentially curl your spine and see if you can bring your spine all the way back up into the seated position. You've got it. All right, now from here, we've already done ×2, strengthening through a quadriceps, some nice good lengthening and strengthening through our hamstrings. Now let's do a little bit of opening through our hip flexors. Did you know that you've got a muscle that's a hip flexor, but also you've got it straightens your knee? And that muscle is so troublesome to those individuals that have sensitive knees and have difficulty kneeling. So let's really nicely open up through these hip flexors today. So take your body and turn your body 90 degrees on your chair. Now, once you're 90 degrees on your chair, check in that the left knee is lining up with the arch of the left foot, and then simply slide the right knee so that the right knee is straight down below the hip. Right toes, just gently turn those toes under, and then take your entire rib cage and body and slightly weight shift it so that you feel the weight into your left hand. Both hands can gently rest onto your left thigh. And keeping yourself in this position. It's all about the tilt and the rotation of the pelvis. Can you, in this position, take a nice deep inhale, and as you exhale, tuck that tailbone under and feel that beautiful opening through the front of your pelvis. Now, holding yourself right here, lengthening your neck, settling your chin, shoulder blades back and down. You've got to take a nice deep inhale into your belly and exhaling out. One more time, nice deep inhale into the belly and exhaling out. Gently releasing the tuck of the pelvis, bringing the left knee and foot forward, slowly rotating yourself back to the center and then rotating yourself to the right side. As you're making your way to your right side, check in that that right knee lines up with the arch of that right foot. And then gently drop that left knee down so that the knee is lined up perfectly underneath that hip. Left toes turned under, of course, unless that's something that you cannot do because of toe issues. Once you have that, take that entire rib cage today and let yourself gently bend forward until you feel some weight into that front leg, and then just rest your two hands onto that front leg. All right. All about the tuck of that pelvis, or that tilt of that pelvis. Take a nice deep inhale, and as you exhale, tuck your tailbone under and feel that opening through the front of that left thigh. Check in that your knee doesn't kind of go out to the side as you do that. So that knee should be pointed straight downward here. All right, take a nice, slow, deep inhale here. Lengthen the neck, settle the chin, shoulder blades are back and down. Exhaling out. One more time for me. Nice, deep inhale into the belly. And exhaling out. Beautiful. Slowly release the tuck of the tailbone. Place the left foot on the floor in the knee, and then unrotate yourself 90 degrees. All right, let's do a nice, just gentle opening through our low back here. We've already done tons for our legs. We're about to get back up into standing. But before we get up into standing, what I would like to do is do a nice, good sequential flexion just to open up through your entire rib cage. So take your feet, bring your feet at the width of the chair, nice and wide for me here. Starting at the crown of your head, take a deep inhale, and as you exhale, slowly begin to bring the chin into the throat and then the chin down to the chest. As you continue just normally breathing, let that rib cage curl downward. Continuing to breathe. Pull those abdominals in as you find that spine sequentially curling. At some point, you feel all of the weight into your hands. Let your shoulders drop downward between your knees. And then get to the point that you can drop your hands down to the inside of your feet. Keep your neck nice and long, gazing back to the back of that chair. Letting yourself rest in this position, really getting a couple of beautiful, slow, deep diaphragmatic breaths into the belly, therefore opening up through that low back. So take a nice, slow, deep inhale into your belly here. And then exhaling out. Slow, deep inhale into the belly here. And exhaling out. Now, start with pushing into your feet. You'll feel your glutes engage. You'll feel your hamstrings engage. Start to engage your abdominals and begin to pull that tailbone under. And see if you've got enough back strength that you can sequentially, using those abdominals and back muscles, curl your spine all the way up. One segment at a time. Keep your gaze down until those shoulder blades are back and down, and then sequentially curl that neck all the way up until voila, you are all the way back up. Nice, good strengthening through the entire paraspinals and erector spinae muscles of the spine. Okay, now we are getting up into standing for a few activities to help our knees. So if you don't want to hip hinge and push and push and push and push and pinch to stand, there is another beautiful way that you can work on standing, and that is through a simple lunge. So let's give this a try on each leg, so that if you've got maybe one leg that's a little bit sensitive or one leg that's a little bit tender, you can always work on emphasizing the strengthening of that leg. So let's emphasize the strengthening of our right leg first. So just gently shift yourself to the left side of your chair. Have yourself so that your right knee is in the center of the arch of your right foot. Take your left leg and slide your left leg back to the side of the chair, toes turned under, so that you're at the point, if you look down and to the left, that your left ankle is behind your left hip. That's the position you want to be in here. So you're kind of going to be focusing more on using this right quadricep as you're using a little bit more of the left gluteus. So if this was my tender or sensitive knee and I needed to do more strengthening on this leg, this is the position to maybe work on that. Then nothing changes as far as how you get up into standing. So let's take our hands into Anjali Mudra. Take an inhale, Hinge at your hips, bring your body weight over that right foot. Then as you exhale, push into that foot, push, 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 and then pinch and squeeze through those glutes. You've got it, as simple as that. Take a nice deep inhale here. Exhale, slowly hinge at your hips, bend at your right knee as you lower yourself back to the chair. Then inhale, coming back up, exhaling, relaxing there. All right, let's try it one more time on the left side. And then we'll get ourselves up into standing to work a little bit through our calves. So just shift yourself to the left side of the chair. Arch of your foot underneath that left knee. Then slide the right leg back to the side of the chair so that you see that your ankle is behind your right hip. That way you're going to be using a little bit more glute on that side, a lot more quadricep on this left knee. Hands to Anjali Mudra. Here we go. Take a nice deep inhale here. As you exhale, hinge heel forward. I did it again, guys. Screwed up the breathing. Oh, well. Take an inhale in your hinge. Exhale, push into that left leg. Push and push and push and pinch and squeeze your glutes at the very top. You've got it. All right, so stay in a standing position. Take a moment here to quickly take your chair and move your chair to the very top of your yoga mat, but have it so that two of the legs of the chair are still touching your yoga mat. We're going to be using it simply for balance. We want to make sure that we're doing something here to strengthen the quadriceps and the calf muscles all together. So now that you have yourself in that position, two options. One, you can face the chair and gently place your hands onto the chair. Option two, you can just have the chair to the side of you. So you pick whichever feels the most comfortable for you. Now, let's find a nice, simple mountain pose here. So look down at your feet, make sure they're approximately that hip distance. Line up the outside of the feet with the sides of your mat. And take a moment here to make sure that your knees are not hyperextended or locked. So soften through your knees. Maybe take a quick pelvic tuck and tilt once you have yourself nice and neutral. Give yourself a nice deep inhale here. Feel yourself lift that rib cage up. Hold your breath. Just look down and make sure that you can see your toes so that your rib cage is stacked perfectly on top of that pelvis. And then as you exhale, go ahead and soften that belly for me. No worries about what's happening with the top half of your body today. Just gently touch your fingers to the chair so that you've got them for a little bit of balance. Now, in this position, lengthen your neck, settle your chin, gaze yourself forward. Gently keeping the knees slightly soft for a minute, shift your weight to the balls of your toes. That's why the chair's there. Once you have the weight to the balls of the toes, take an inhale and lift the heels as high as you can without your knees bending and or perfectly locking. See if you can do that. Then exhale, lower the heels downward. You've got it. 4 more times that way, and then we do another way. Inhale, lengthening, keep the weight in the balls of the feet. Feel that you can feel that. Exhale, dropping those heels down. I feel the ball of my big toes, the ball of my little toes. You should too. 3 more times. Inhale, lengthening all the way up. Just gentle weight into the chair and hands. Exhale, lowering down. 2 more times for me. Inhale, lengthening up. Exhaling, lowering down. And one final time, inhaling, lengthening, and exhaling and lowering. Very good. Shift the weight slightly back into your heels for a minute. Now, here's what I want you to do. I want you to look at your kneecaps. And I want you to bend your kneecaps so that your kneecaps line up with your second toes. Keep yourself in that position. So there's a little bit more of a knee bend here. Once you have yourself there, hands onto the chair, shift your weight into the balls of your feet. Now, don't let your knees straighten more. Don't let them bend more. Can you inhale and lift your heels up? That's your soleus muscle we're working now. Exhale, lower down. Keep the knees gently bent. Inhaling, lifting up. Keep the weight always in the ball of the toes. Exhaling, lowering down. 3 more times. Lengthen the neck, settle the chin. Inhaling, lifting up. Make sure you feel those pinkies and those big toe balls. Lowering down on the exhale. 2 more times. Inhaling, lifting up. Exhaling, lowering down. Knees never lose their alignment with the second toes. Make sure your toes aren't curling up. Last time here. Inhaling, lifting. And exhaling and lowering. Very nice. Keep the left knee perfectly bent right where it is. Take the right leg, step it back 2 feet. Once you have that position, gaze at that right heel. Line it up with the outside of that mat. Hands onto the chair. Straighten that right knee now as much as you can. Take a deep inhale here, and as you exhale, push back into that heel. Feel that stretch those calf muscles that you just worked on. Holding this position, take a nice deep inhale into your belly. And then exhaling out. One more time, nice deep inhale into the belly. And exhaling out. Excellent. Stepping the right foot forward, keeping the right knee slightly bent so that it's over the second toe. Taking the left foot back 2 feet or so. Turning the heel so the outside of the foot lines up with the outside of the mat. Straightening through that left knee as you push that heel downward towards the floor. Taking a deep inhale here. And then as you exhale, holding on to that left calf stretch. One more breath for me here. Nice deep inhale. And exhaling. Beautiful. Slowly stepping the left knee forward. And now it's time for us to get down to the mat. So just allow yourself to move your chair completely out of the way of the mat unless you need the chair to get down to the floor. And here's what I want you to do. We're going to use that lunge to successfully get down to the floor. If you've got one knee that's more sensitive than the other, let that be your front leg so that you're not bringing the weight down onto that kneecap. Allow yourself to either put the left leg forward, the right leg backward. Now, when you do this, have your legs nice and wide so that it's not a balance challenge for you. It's a quadricep and gluteal challenge for you. Take a nice deep inhale here. And then as you exhale, just gently lower yourself to the floor. Hands come down, immediately lay yourself to your side, and then sit yourself so that your legs are straight in what we call staff pose, where your legs are nice and straight. Now, we're going to take an opportunity here just to kind of do a little balancing exercise and fire specifically those inner quadricep muscles. So what I want you to do is I want you to take your yoga block, and in this sitting position, take the yoga block and place it underneath the right thigh bone. Now you have 2 options here. Well, technically 3. You can have it so the yoga block is the flattest, or you can have it so it's in its middle position. If you have it in your middle position, for what we're going to be doing, you might possibly irritate a little too much the back of that kneecap. So I would recommend you have it in the flatter position. Once you have yourself here, left knee stays straight right next to the yoga block. Allow yourself to gently lean back. Now, depending on what your wrists and hands have in store for you, do what you feel comfortable, but see if you can just gently rest yourself back onto the index fingers and thumbs of both of your hands so that you're unloading your pelvis and you can keep your spine in a fairly neutral position. Right toes. Take the right toes and point the toes up and figure out for you, how do you move your right foot so that your second toe perfectly lines up with your kneecap? Got it? Now that you have it lined up with your kneecap, take an inhale and straighten that right knee perfectly, never letting the leg rotate inward or outward, keeping that kneecap and that second toe perfectly in alignment. Exhale, gently bring it down. We're going to do it 4 times before we switch to the left side. Gaze at the kneecap, gaze at the second toe. Taking an inhale, lifting, keeping that alignment, contracting fully the quadricep muscles, and then exhaling and gently bending it. 3 more times. Inhaling, lifting, exhaling, bending. You got it, guys. Keep it going. Inhaling, lifting, full contraction, really tighten those quadriceps. Exhaling and bending. And finally, inhaling and lifting. and exhaling and bending. Beautiful. Shift your body weight back forward to staff pose, which means your spine is nice and long, using your abdominals and back muscles to hold yourself upright. And then take that yoga block, place it underneath the left knee. Right knee is directly beside the yoga block. The block is now supporting the left thigh. Once you have that yourself in that position, ready to do it all over on the opposite side. So go ahead and bring your hands back in whatever comfortable position it is for you. You may be even on your fists. Figure out what feels comfortable for you today. And once you have yourself there, keep your core engaged. Shoulder blades are back and down, lengthen your neck, settle your chin, gaze at that second toe. Now, figure out what you need to do with your leg right now to line up the kneecap and that second toe. Maybe it's a movement through the hip, maybe it's a movement through the ankle. And then allow yourself to point the toe up towards the knee. Get that perfect alignment. And then inhale, straighten the knee, perfectly tighten those quadriceps. Keep that second toe in line with that kneecap. And then as you exhale, lower down. 4 more times, just like the right. Inhaling, straightening, second toe, kneecap, keep that alignment. Exhaling and relaxing. Inhaling, straightening. Exhaling and relaxing. 2 more times. Inhaling and straightening. Exhaling and relaxing. And 1 final time, inhaling and straightening. And exhaling and relaxing. You've got it. Shift yourself back up to staff pose. Get that nice, good strength. Take that yoga block. You are done with it. So gently move it to the side of you. Have your yoga strap. We are going on your belly. We are going to really lengthen through these quadricep muscles. So what I want you to do is you're going to use your yoga strap as a lasso. You're going to put a loop in it. So don't worry about linking it or locking it or anything like that. Just place it between one of the loops of the cinch, or put them between both of the D-rings if that's what you've got. Make yourself a nice, good lasso. Once you have your lasso, take it and place it around the arch of your right foot. Once you have yourself there, you are ready to go over onto your belly. So lay down through your side, roll over onto your belly. In this position, you can take that yoga strap and place it up and over your right shoulder for a minute. Let's make sure you've got all of your alignment cues that you need to have. So resting yourself in a nice, good, either partial Sphinx pose, or you can rest your head all the way down onto your yoga mat. From here, take the insides of your knees and the insides of your ankles and just make sure that you have them all squeezed together for me. Then using that yoga strap and the strength of your triceps, slowly begin to pull the right knee up. Now, you're not trying to pull up to a strong stretch in your thigh. You're trying to pull up until you just feel tension in your knee joint and or your kneecap. So it's not all the way into the thigh, it's just into the knee. Now, for some of you, that might mean that your heel is all the way to the buttock, but for the majority of us, it might mean that your foot is somewhere between the height of your knee and towards your buttock. So wherever you begin to feel tension into the kneecap area, that's where you stop. Now, keeping those knees tightly squeezed together here, holding that strap where it is. Take a nice deep inhale, and on the exhale, tuck that tailbone under. There's the thigh stretch that we want without the knee tenderness. Hold yourself right there. Keep the squeeze through the knees. Keep the gentle pull through the strap. Keep that hard tuck through the hamstrings and the abdominals. Maybe make sure that your face is soft and you're not making funny faces. Take a nice, slow, deep inhale into your belly here. And exhaling out. One more time, slow, deep inhale into the belly. And exhaling out. Gently release the tuck of the pelvis. Gently release the squeeze of the knees and very, very, very slowly straighten the knee. Now, once the knee is straightened, we're going to do a little bit of muscular training here. Hopefully you got some good stretch, so we might as well make it count. So just keep the strap where it is, but take the right toes and turn the right toes under. Once your right toes are under, allow yourself to imagine that you're lining up that kneecap with that second toe again. And then take an inhale and lift that knee as high as you can. Push that heel away from you as high as you can. Hold that contraction, maintain that contraction. Squeeze through those quadriceps, lengthen through those hamstrings. Take a nice deep inhale here. And exhaling out. And one more time, nice, slow, deep inhale. And exhaling out. Gently release the push of the heel, gently soften the knee back down to the floor. Okay, now here's what we need to do. We need to get that lasso around the left ankle. So for some of you, you might have enough, I would say, dexterity to maybe kind of loosen the lasso, see if you can get the left toes into it. And if you can, I'm going to lose mine, just switch it from one foot to the other. If not, take the time to roll over to your side, sit yourself up, switch it to the opposite foot, and then lay yourself back down. Let's see how successful I'm going to be today. Whenever you have it around the left foot, allow yourself to lay back down on your belly. Have your feet straight, squeeze between your knees, squeeze between your feet, and we are ready to do it on the opposite side. Okay, so now that you're there, keep the knees squeezed and then slowly begin to use the triceps of your arms to pull that leg up, finding that point where you just feel the tension in your kneecap. I don't want you to have a strong pull in your quadricep yet, just that tension into your kneecap. Where is it for you? And then once you have just that tension into your kneecap, squeeze those knees tighter. Take a nice deep inhale here. And then as you exhale, tuck that tailbone under. There's the stretch we want through the thigh today. Maintaining that, soften the face if you can. Take a nice deep inhale into your belly. And exhaling out, still squeezing, still pulling the strap, still tucking the tailbone. One more breath, deep inhale in. And exhaling out. Beautiful. Now, very gently release the tuck of the tailbone. Slowly start to straighten the knee until the foot gets all the way back down to the floor. Turn the left toes under, training those quadriceps to be nice and strong and more into a balance. From here, allow yourself to take the inhale and straighten and lift that kneecap and tighten those quadriceps, and then push that heel away from you. Holding that nice, good contraction there. Take a deep inhale into your belly and exhaling out. One more time, slow, deep inhale. Tighten that knee, tighten that knee. Exhaling out, keep that knee contracted. And at the end of the exhale, release the knee back down to the floor. Very nice. Now, here's what I want you to do. Roll to your left or roll to your right side. And once you've rolled to your side, gently roll over onto your back. That gives you the opportunity to take that lasso and lose it around that arch of that foot and just gently move your yoga strap out of your way. In here, find yourself in a nice, good resting position on your back, but we need to decompress that spine. We are on our belly for a fair amount of time. So take your right knee to your chest, take your left knee to your chest. Nice, good, deep inhale here. And as you exhale, pull those knees to your chest. Make sure that your feet aren't together or your feet are crossed. Keep them hip distance apart. Lengthen through your neck, settle through your chin. Take a deep, slow inhale into your belly here. And then exhaling out. One more time, slow, deep inhale into the belly. And exhaling out. Wonderful. Keep the right knee to the chest. Take the left leg, slide it all the way down and place it in the center of your yoga mat. Take both hands around that right knee. Nice deep inhale here. Exhale, further pull into your chest. And then gently take the hands to the underside of the knee. Keeping that knee to your chest. Right toes, point them up towards the ceiling. Taking a nice deep inhale and gently straightening one more time, lengthening through those hamstrings. And then as you exhale, slowly relaxing. Keep your neck long, your chin settled, tongue to the roof of your mouth. 2 more times. Inhaling and exhaling. And one final time, nice deep inhale. And exhale. You've got it. Keeping that right knee to your chest. Slide that left leg up. Then bring that left knee to your chest. Both hands around those shin bones. Deep inhale here. Exhale, pulling those knees to the chest. And then taking the hands to the left hand. Taking the right leg. Bringing the foot down to the floor. And then sliding that right leg down. See if you can get it into the center of your yoga mat today. Going back to this left knee, nice deep inhale. And as you exhale, pull that knee into your chest. You've got it. Lengthen the neck, settle the chin. Take the hands to the underside now of that left knee. Left toes, point them up to the ceiling. Let's do those 3 hamstring openings on this left side. So give me an inhale, lengthening through that leg, keeping the knee to the chest, exhaling and relaxing. Let's do that 2 more times. Inhaling and lengthening. Exhaling and relaxing. And one final time, inhaling and lengthening. And exhaling and relaxing. You've got it. Now, keeping the right leg where it is, simply take that left foot and place it onto your right thigh. Take that right hand, reach for the left knee, left hand, bring it out to the side of your body. Nice deep inhale here, and on the exhale, start to pull that left knee to the right. Feel your hip rotate and your pelvis lift and your low back rotate and lift and your rib cage rotate and lift. Keep that left shoulder blade down. Lengthen through your neck, settle through your chin, and turn your gaze towards that left. Nice, slow, deep inhale here in your spinal twist. And exhaling out. One more time. Nice, slow, deep inhale in. And exhaling out. Wonderful. Slowly rotate the head back to the center. Start at that left shoulder blade. De-rotate the rib cage and the low back and the pelvis and then the hip. Place the left foot on the floor. Slide the right leg up. Take that left leg, slide it down to the center of your mat today, and then place that right foot on top of the left thigh. Left hand to the right knee, right hand out to the side of the body. Taking a nice deep inhale here, and on the exhale, pulling that right knee to the left, feeling that stretch as you rotate the hip. Feeling it as you lift the pelvis, rotating, lifting that low back, rotating, lifting that rib cage, keeping that right shoulder blade down, lengthening the neck, settling the chin, turning the gaze to the right. Nice, slow, deep inhale into the belly here. And exhaling out. One more time, nice, slow, deep inhale into the belly. And exhaling out. Gently beginning to de-rotate your head, coming back to the center, starting at that right shoulder blade, slowly de-rotating the rib cage and the low back and the pelvis. And then the hip, placing the right foot on the floor, sliding the left leg up, taking an opportunity here to find a nice, good neutral pelvic position. Engage through your abdominals, and then slide each of the legs down to each corner of your mat. Letting your shoulder blades rest underneath you, palms lifted, arms straight out by your hips. Lengthen your neck, settle your chin, rest your tongue to the roof of the mouth, and just close the veils of those eyes. 45 minutes for our knees today. Maybe you'll have a little bit of quadricep soreness later. Maybe if you had some sort of knee sensitivity or pain, it might be gone. Taking a slow, deep inhale into your belly. Exhaling out. And just one more time, slow, deep inhale into the belly. And exhaling out. Wiggle those fingers, wiggle those toes, and circle those wrists and ankles. And then when you feel like you're ready, slide one leg up, followed by the other. And then just gently roll over to your left or right side. bottom elbow top hand, that's what you're going to be using here. And let yourself do it on an exhale, pushing yourself up into a seated position. Finding easy pose, legs gently crossed, unless your knees don't like that. And then just simply bringing your legs out into a wide angle stretch. So you pick what works for you, hands to the heart, smiles on the faces. Nice deep inhale in and exhaling out. Namaste. The highest in me salutes the highest in each and every one of you. Thank you for joining me today.